So let's talk about postgraduate studies. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you. So today's video is inspired by my sister who just started her honors. She started her honors and it's coursework, just like many honors degrees in South Africa. It is coursework, so meaning it has modules and then a part where you need to submit a research paper, like if this is mini thesis, dissertation. It's not really a thesis, it's either a dissertation or a mini thesis, right? So this is what happens. An honors degree is normally a year long and full-time. It's normally a year long full-time and then 2 years part-time, and during that time you need to pass your modules and then you need to conduct a research on a certain topic. You are given the liberty, well, in most institutions you are given the liberty to make a title or to choose a title of your choice, right? So here's the problem. My sister was asking me, how do I even go about choosing a title? And there's just so much information out there. How do I narrow it down to me actually writing and producing a research paper? There is generally a problem with facilitating the first year of postgraduate in our institutions, South African institutions mostly. I encountered like a problem where I was just fresh from undergraduate and I did not take even a break. I just went straight to postgraduate, and there was really a gap in the facilitation of the two, because you jump from undergraduate and now you're just in this jungle of postgraduate and you're expected to know your story, basically. I'm not sure if I should say this, but there's a problem with supervisors who just expect students to know, who just expect students to get on with the flow, right? We can't really blame them, because I mean, in their mind, you have a year before to apply for this program. You applied because, one, you know what you want out of this field and you know where you want to direct your career, right? I want to be specific to honors students. So if you're an honors student, come here, please watch this video. All right, so as I said, the first 6 months will be your modules, and then the last 6 months will be where you need to write your research paper. And maybe you might have modules, maybe 2 or maybe just 1, and then mostly, but the focus mostly on the last part of the last 6 months of your honors is where you produce your paper, right? And I'm speaking about majority of South African universities, not all of them, not every university, but majority of South African universities. For the people who think supervisors are a problem, you can call me part of the problem. I'm a supervisor as well. I supervise honor students and I take them from the first step of their research to the last part where I have to grade their papers, right? So I don't have much experience, but I have worked with some students. I'm saying about Namuti, yeah. So I have noticed some problems, and also I have noticed things that would help your honors experience. Most of the times you'll be asked by the program coordinator to submit your title so they can know your area of interest and then possibly suggest a supervisor for you. You'll then meet the supervisor, and if you feel that you guys get along and they have the expertise you want for your paper, then you can accept the supervisor, and same goes to the supervisor if they feel that, you know, you guys are working on the same wavelength, excuse me, then they can. So now the problem is, how do you come up with a title? You know, there's just a vast of information out there. There is so much, and I'm pretty sure in your undergrad you have different modules, you have core modules, you have electives, and you have different interests, right? And now you have to narrow it down to one. You have to narrow interest to one thing. How do you come up with a title? Coming up with a title I want to keep this as simple as possible. I don't want to complicate things. I just want to keep this as simple as possible so you can go back to your drawing board and know what to do right. Firstly, choosing your topic. Number one, you need to go for something you enjoy. I know this seems like an anti-climax, but simple as that. You really need to ask yourself, what is it that you enjoy? From all the modules you did, from everything you've come across in your field, from your undergraduate, what tickles your fancy? What is that thing that even when you read about, you feel that, you know, this is what I want to do, this is where I want to make a difference, this is where I want to make my mark in the world of academia. So you really need to do something that you enjoy. That's the first step, because honestly, you know, deep down, you're the one who knows where you want to make your mark. I remember having a conversation with one of my students. Okay, they came to me with a topic and they were like, I'll just do it for my honors and I'll change to something else in my master's degree. I was like, oh, it's okay, because this is like a mini thesis, it's a dissertation. But also in your honors is your foundation. I wouldn't advise anyone to do a complete different thing for their honors, and then a complete different thing for their masters, and then it's a complete different thing for your PhD. It's always best to use your honors year as foundation for your academic career. Use your honors year as foundation for you building up your academic career. So if you choose a topic in your honors, be sure that this is something you can work with for the next coming 5 to 10 years. If you choose a topic in your honors year, be sure that this is something you enjoy doing in long term. This is something you build on. So the title, so I'm saying the title you choose for your honors year should not just be a title that you'll be doing for the 6 months you submit and then that's it. Make sure, especially if you want to go further with your academic career, make sure that this is something you enjoy doing, even for your masters, your PhD, your postdoc, and wherever you want to take your academic career. So the second point is looking at the importance of your interest. Remember, it's not yet a topic, it's not yet a title, it's just your interest. You are interested in this field. Look at the importance. Why is it important? Why do you think it's important? Do you see a gap? Right at this point, you wouldn't have done much reading on your interest at this, but why do you think it's important? Do you really think it's worth taking this on? Do you think your interest is worth being heard? Right? Remember, research is about finding a gap in knowledge and innovation and then filling in that gap. We're constantly filling in gaps in knowledge. As research in the back of your mind and ask yourself, is this important? Why is it important? What are the gaps in this area of my interest? What are the current gaps? Even if it's not really gaps you have read about, but by looking at things, let me say in agriculture, by looking at things, what are the gaps in agriculture? Have you experienced those gaps? Have you had people talking about this? So after you have established that this is important, I see the impact that it would make, I see that this is where I would fill the gap in. After doing that, related to studies that have been done, because it's possible that the direction or the angle you want to take has been overdone. What has been done to fill this gap? Has there been research done to fill this gap? How has the research been taken? Has it made a lot of impact? And that's gonna lead you to now writing your title. You know that this is what you enjoy, and you have determined the importance and the gap. You know now the gap, and you have related to, okay, this is the gap and these are the current studies that have been made. Other researchers have taken this angle and I want to take this angle, and also just know that there will never be anything new under the sun. Even Ecclesiastes says the same thing. There will never be anything new under the sun. For you to make an impact with your research, you can literally do the same thing, just taking a different angle or using a different methodology to reveal something new about a study that had been done before. So it's okay. You don't have to come up with something absolutely new and mind-blowing. It's okay to come up with something very new and mind-blowing. But if you feel that this has been done before, find ways to bring about impact or bring about different results even in the same. Now you have an idea of how you'd want to go about your research. I know at this point you would have done a module in the first semester of your studies about research methodology, so I know at this point you are not completely blank, right, about research and how to go about your research, right? And once you establish those things, you can now write your title. I say write a lot, right? Be very careful of your wording. That's why I always encourage my students to give me at least 3 different topics so I can know or maybe try see where they are going with this. So I would encourage you to give your supervisor or program coordinator at least 3 different topics so they can weigh the wording and see where you are leaning towards. I'll make an example about agribusiness and commercial farming. It's all about farming and selling, right? Where in actual fact, those are 2 different things, right? So if you say da 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 in commercial farming, you are meaning a whole different thing. And if you say 1 2 3 in agribusiness, that's another different thing. And you would think, it's just about farming and selling. No, those are 2 different things. So be careful of your wording, research your words. I would say once you now have done all the steps prior to the actual writing of your title, firstly you give 3, and then in each title of the 3 you break it down. So you break it down, you understand each word of the title, the words that constitute the title, you break them down and you write the meaning of each, right? And you research each. So if there's a word about commercial farming as part of your topic, research commercial farming. If there's a word about hydroponics in your research title, research hydroponics. Each and every word that forms a title needs to be researched and understood. This will also help you know what your research, the overall research, will require from you. So if in your topic there's a certain word, you can't just throw words in your topic, because each and every word in your topic or in your title will require something from you. So make sure that you break each and every word of your title and you understand it, because that's what pretty much the entire research will require from you. So write your topics, break them down, understand each word that forms the topic. You don't have to get everything right at first. That's why write 3 titles and submit them. It might even happen that from the 3 titles you submit, your supervisor helps you mix match the words and just come up with one solid, amazing title. Lastly, this is just something to keep in mind, whether before or during the study. Just have this in mind. You need to have in mind the duration of your study, because you cannot take on a big project if you only have 6 months. It's unlike with your masters where you have 2-3 years to conduct your study. Remember, you only have 6 months, and if you have a year or 2 years, just keep the duration of your study in mind. Keep the resources, keep in mind the feasibility. Is it possible? Right? Make sure it's possible. Just make sure it's possible, please, because as much as we have all these big ideas, all these amazing ideas, we want to change the world through research, it has to be possible. It has to be realistic, right? And also know the institution that you're in and the kind of resources the institution can offer. Be mindful of the knowledge available in that study, because this is your honest year. You don't want to be frustrated by a topic that doesn't have much knowledge around it, that doesn't have much resources around it, you know, and now you're frustrated, you're stuck, you don't know where to go because not much research tools are available for you at this level of your research career. The context as well, the participants, if you'll need to go out to do field research, will you be able to find participants? The context, what's the context of your study? I think postgrad is very daunting, but it is possible, and once you get the hang of things, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I hope this was simple and very straightforward. Go through the points we spoke about, and I'm sure you'll come up with a very solid topic. And to all the people starting their postgrad this year, congratulations. I wish you all the best. I'll try have more videos like this, and I really hope it brings some ease to your postgraduate journey. I am going to leave my email on the description box, and if you have any question at all, or you need help with coming up with your title, the writing, your personal statements, applying for scholarships, I know that can be extremely demotivating, you know, not having funding for your studies. I really hope I get to be of help. Thank you guys for watching. See you in my next video. Love you many times.